Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Telepathy, and I'll be discussing the problem with the Netflix. Now, everyone loves Netflix and just binging in general. With $8 a month, you get access to everything and anything. It's a worldwide app that gives smiles to all. My favorite Netflix shows are The Seven Deadly Sins, You, and Big Mouth, and those are all just Netflix originals. Netflix has an abundance of content for whomever and whatever that aren't even their own. For whatever mood you're in, there's a show to accompany you. However, that is the problem itself. With Smosh covering me 6 years early, there is way too much content on Netflix.
Too much content on Netflix. It's hard to choose what to watch next on Netflix. On Netflix. On Netflix.
From trash to mediocre to average to genius, it's all there. With this hold of content Netflix has, it allows executives to do a trial and error way of pushing things rather than pushing good content people will enjoy. Trial and error, of course, being if they push a series and it does well, they'll release a season 2 a year later. However, if it's pushed and does terribly or doesn't do as good as they thought, then they scrap it and replace it with another thing a month to weeks to a few months later. They just replace it in general. This actually reminds me of The Office, the scene where they're discussing pizza. Would you rather have a little good pizza or a lot of mediocre pizza? Pizza being content, of course.
A medium amount of good pizza, or all you can eat a pretty good pizza.
The examples I have for what Netflix does are Naruto. Naruto has been on and off Netflix due to user ratings and reception, and I remember this because when I was younger, I used to watch Naruto on Netflix when I like a 3DS. Then they got taken off. I was sad. Got put back on. I was happy. Taken off and then put back on, and it's still on to this day. The viewer has too much power to cancel and bring back the same show multiple times. Second example, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar was put on Netflix earlier this year and got received heavily liked on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. It got a lot of hype towards it. So much that they put the sequel to Avatar, The Legend of Korra. Even though this didn't do too well, it still shows how much power the user has to like a show so much they put the sequel to it when no one asked. It's like you got Michael Jordan on one team, and like, yeah, we love Michael Jordan. Yeah, let's go. We get to see him. We want him. But then they add Scottie Pippen, and you're like, okay, we might as well watch him. But then he's not actually as good as Kobe because you just want Kobe. So why did these people add Scottie Pippen, The Legend of Korra, if you just wanted to see Kobe? I mean, not Kobe, Michael Jordan. You know, the supply and demand mentality Netflix has generated a pushback wave of mediocre, lazy, over-sexualized content, such as The Trinkets, Teenage Bounty Hunters, and the worst show ever released to man, Young and Hungry. The good shows are now deceased, such as BoJack Horseman, Disenchantment. Those shows actually chose character and more higher produced thinking, actually production and thought put into every episode. Those shows are dead. They're not coming back and they're really underpopularized now. The shows that are striving, doing well, but are utter garbage, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Fuller House, Anything with King Batch, Jane the Virgin, Insatiable, all of those just straight trash. And it's crazy how people watch that because they actually don't know what's good for them. I'm not going to say they're trash per se, but they're the reason what's wrong with Netflix because they just keep giving you, but you're not understanding what you're being given. Shows that are actually good get swept by shows that are terrible because one cannot pick the difference. And I'm saying that as in there's so much content on Netflix. The good content fits in with the genius content, fits in with the mediocre content, fits in with the average content. Everything just fits together. It doesn't I shouldn't say fit together, more or less blends in together. Let's say that you're trying to watch a good anime, and instead of picking One Punch Man or The Promised Neverland, You watching trash ass Bleach. You watching Beastars because you don't know the difference between what anime to watch. People don't know the trash from the great, so wait, when they actually get trash, they think it's great, and when they get great, they think it's average. And I was like this too. The only way how to escape from this is to realize you're stuck in it. That's the only way. I was just like this too. And that's the problem with Netflix itself. There needs to be a cut down on content. Why they never will do this, because it's a business, and the more things they have, the more profit they will get. It's a business like that. But the problem from so we can't change that. We can't change Netflix, but we can change the way we perceive it. If you think every Netflix original or every show on Netflix is good, you have to calm down, just take a step back. You know, whenever I'm about to watch the show, I look it up. I look up the show on IMDb and see if it's good or not. And not good, but see how it's perceived by other people first. Because if it's like 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, why am I watching that show? Maybe to see if I might like it, but if a bunch of people say it was trash, why am I gonna watch it? You know what I'm saying? If like 1,000 people rated a 7 out of 10, am I really gonna watch it? However, if 1,000 people rated a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, I'll give it a watch, at least the first episode. So that's really the solution to watching Netflix. Do your own research about it before the show you watch. That'll give you a better understanding of what's actually happening. It'll give you a better understanding of what TV is actually like, what you should be watching, what you should be expecting, so they don't try to undersell you some garbage, you know? The problem with Netflix is that there's too much content, so the genius gets mixed in with the trash and people will not know the difference. The solution to it is doing your own research on the show before you watch it. So yeah, that's it. We out.
The countryside, I wander far and wide. The isolation.